My neck still hurts from being taken by the neck to the principal's office because I was terrible. Hey, the rest of the class would laugh. They didn't know why they were laughing.
Mel Brooks is a well-known American actor, director, producer, screenwriter, composer, and lyricist. He served as a corporal in the United States military before turning his attention to playing the piano and doing stand-up comedy performances at Borscht Belt resorts. He went on to make films such as The Producers, Young Frankenstein, The 12 Chairs, and others. He's one of the few artists in Hollywood to have an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. He also has earned the AFI Lifetime Achievement Award, and 3 of his films have been named to the American Film Institute's list of the best 100 comedies of all time.
All about stepping out of the lines. You got to step outside the lines. And I think that the political correctness is too, I'm sorry to say it, is too politically correct.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Melvin James Kamensky, but is also known as Mel Brooks. He was born on June 28, 1926 in New York, United States, making him age 94 at the time of this production. He stands at 165 centimeters or 5 feet 5 inches tall. Brooks was so cruel to his first wife, Florence Baum, that every morning he placed 3 $1 notes on her dresser and told her it was her daily budget. He cheated on her several times, notably with singer Eartha Kitt, punched holes in walls during his rages, and she said he beat her up after their divorce. He wandered the streets of New York at night, ringing the doorbells of women he knew and begging to be allowed in. While courting his second wife, Anne Bancroft, the actress and star of The Graduate, when money came in the way, Brooks appears to have forgotten about friendships, and he infuriated Gene Wilder by seizing control of the stage production of Young Frankenstein, which they co-wrote. Brooks' father died when he was 2, and he developed an aggressive attitude as a protection mechanism to satisfy his missing father. Brooks' therapist subsequently described him as having 2 personalities: nice Mel, who loved people and wanted them to love him, and rude, crude Mel, who didn't care, both fighting for supremacy. Brooks was recruited in his 20s for NBC's Your Show of Shows, the comedy program hosted by his buddy Sid Caesar, where he developed lifelong friendships with writers such as Carl Reiner and Mel Tolkien. Brooks acted like he was the boss even as a lowly humor writer, arriving late and going on towering rages, but he was so good that he got away with it. Mel Brooks and his son Max have a warning for people who believe it's okay to avoid social interaction amid the coronavirus outbreak. Max highlighted why everyone, especially young adults, should take coronavirus protection in a video uploaded to Twitter. Brooks nods along with the son's message while standing behind a glass door throughout the PSA. Max, 47, believes he will probably be okay if he contracts COVID-19, but his 93-year-old father is at a higher risk. People over the age of 60, as well as those with underlying illnesses, are at the greatest risk of severe sickness and death if they catch the virus, according to the World Health Organization. Plus, Max said, Brooks might be able to pass it to other people of his age or younger. "Schmuck is dying," a sober Brooks declared during a 2,000-person rally in his Brooklyn neighborhood of Williamsburg. Saying schmuck is a way of life for many of us. I just shake my head thinking, I don't want to live in this world. Schmucks for Schmuck has gathered schmuck-related data from the last 80 years and performed its own independent study on modern schmuck usage. The figures, according to Brooks, are frightening. Since its peak in 1951, outbursts of the term schmuck have decreased year after year, and in 2006 the phrase was used just 28 times, 17 of which were by Brooks himself. Brooks was married to Florence Baum from 1953 to 1962, and the couple divorced in 1962. Stephanie, Nikki, and Eddie were their 3 children. Brooks married theater, film, and television actress Anne Bancroft in 1964, and the couple was married until her death in 2005. They met at a Perry Como variety show rehearsal in 1961 and married 3 years later on August 5, 1964, at the Manhattan Marriage Bureau. Max Brooks, their son, was born in 1972 And Henry Michael Brooks, their grandchild, was born in 2005.
Finishes the song. It's a rehearsal, so you can talk. And I scream out, "Anne Bancroft, I love you." She said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Mel Brooks." She said, "I got your record."
Mel Brooks was born on June 28, 1926 in Brooklyn, New York, to Kate Brookman and Max Kamensky. Brooks, when a teenager, worked as a comedian in his neighborhood. Brooks has 3 brothers. Brooks' father died of renal illness when he was just 2 years old. Brooks was a young child who was frequently ill. His peers frequently ridiculed and tormented him. Buddy Rich, who also lived in Williamsburg, where Brooks' family lived, taught Brooks how to play the drums. He graduated from Eastern District High School and attended Brooklyn College for 1 year before joining the Army. During World War II, he was a United States corporal in the Engineer Combat Battalion, defusing mines. Brooks began working as a performer at Catskills casinos after returning from the Army. Brooks teamed up with comedian Sid Caesar as a writer on the Admiral Broadway Review in 1949, and again with Carl Reiner on Your Show of Shows in 1950. Brooks had his own television smash as the co-creator with Buck Henry of Get Smart, a sitcom that aired in 1965 that mocked the espionage genre and starred Don Adams. Brooks made his feature-length film debut in 1968, writing and directing The Producers, after working on an animated short, The Critic, which received an Academy Award in 1964. The screwball comedy stars Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder as wealthy Broadway producers who put up a play in appallingly bad taste, Springtime for Hitler. While The Producers didn't do well at the box office at first, it garnered Brooks an Oscar for Best Screenplay in 1969 and was hailed as a masterpiece in subsequent years. Brooks directed the film 12 Chairs in 1970 and wrote the screenplay for the animated rendition of the musical Shinebone Alley before winning 2 Grand Slams in 1964. In addition to acting in his own productions, Brooks founded his own production business, Brooks Films, with the goal of producing more serious entertainment. Brooks Films produced films such as The Elephant Man, 1980, To Be or Not to Be, 1983, in which Brooks and his wife, actress Anne Bancroft, co-starred, and The Fly, 1985. Later, he collaborated with Reiner to create the 2,000-Year-Old Man sketch, which was published on a series of related CDs. Since then, their bond has endured. Brooks and Reiner, both now in their 90s, continue to pass the time by riffing on entertainment, politics, and each other. We see each other practically every night, so it's not like we don't see one another. Every night, we watch movies and discuss the news. And now we have Trump to deal with, Reiner joked about in a June 2017 interview with Vanity Fair.
They're a little too strict about, what's in bad taste and what's in good taste. And I think MF, the MF word, it's purposeful.
Mel Brooks earns $45,250 per day. Brooks' net worth is estimated to be $100 million. Brooks is living in his Santa Monica house in California, and all other houses he possessed are either sold or are up for sale. Brooks owns a Morgan. A Porsche 911. A Ferrari 550 Maranello. A Rolls-Royce. a Range Rover.